Ready?
Yeah.
Wiggle your toes.
More than 850,000 doses of AstraZeneca have been administered in Ontario. But for now, it stops there.
Effective today, Ontario will be pausing the rollout and administration of the first or initial doses of AstraZeneca vaccine.
The issue, the vaccine's link to a rare but serious blood clot condition known as VIT. Initially pegged as extremely rare, they're seeing it too often.
Our risk of a side effect from the VIT, it has gone from 1 in 100,000 to 1 in 60,000, and that's a significant safety signal that we don't want to ignore.
Alberta also stopped its AstraZeneca rollout, but due to supply concerns, not safety.
We do not know when Canada and in turn Alberta will receive additional doses.
So what Alberta has left and will get in the future will be reserved for second doses. The plan is less clear in Ontario, which is working on a second dose fix.
Once we have those pieces of information, I'll feel quite confident to provide that advice to my family, my friends, my colleagues who I know have received AstraZeneca, and we are working together to give the best answers to those questions. So unfortunately, don't have it today.
The good news is the country is set to receive enough Pfizer and Moderna that this pause won't slow the broader vaccine rollout. But it comes after at least 2 million Canadians have received at least one dose of AstraZeneca, including the Prime Minister, his main federal rivals, and the Premier of Ontario.
Those who received their first dose with the AstraZeneca vaccine did absolutely the right thing to prevent illness.
Data from the United Kingdom shows a much lower blood clot risk from second doses of AstraZeneca, but this move will undoubtedly shake confidence. So Ontario and other provinces are looking at other options, including a second dose from a different vaccine. David Cochran, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, this is a big change, so let's bring in infectious diseases specialist Dr. Zain Chagla to clear up a few things. So first, Dr. Chagla, what happened to the messaging around, take the first available vaccine? I mean, aren't there still hotspot parts of the province where the COVID risk is still greater than the blood clot risk?
Yeah, I mean, I think you take a look back in 4 weeks ago, and at that point, things were going out of control. Hospitals were filling up. Community transmission was getting higher. We were seeing case counts that we'd never seen before. And realizing that, the average 40, 50-year-old didn't have access to a vaccine for weeks, it was a good idea. We thought the risk was 1 in 100,000 of it. Again, community rates could have gone to 10 to 20,000 cases a day, and hospitals were overwhelmed. It was a no-brainer to take the vaccine. Now, as we have more Moderna and Pfizer coming in, 40-year-olds they'll be able to enroll this week. The VIT risk is a little bit higher than we thought. And community rates are coming down. Yeah, there is now some flexibility to go to the vaccine with a lower side effect profile. But that decision 4 weeks ago was absolutely the right one. And again, saved hundreds of lives probably in the process.
But even in hotspot regions, you think this is the right call?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how your access to the mRNA vaccines is. But to be fair, most of the hotspot regions have had access to mRNA vaccines essentially with 18 plus. So, again, it doesn't make sense if you're a 40-year-old that could access Pfizer and Moderna to get, AstraZeneca right now because of the side effect profile. But if that window is 4 weeks, in the future, then absolutely It makes sense to get the AstraZeneca vaccine now.
Dr. Chagla, thank you very much.
No problem.